Oh my God.
We love you, Shirley. I know, I'm normally really, thank you, not anymore. I'm normally really confident about speaking. I'm very nervous today after listening to everybody else because I don't really think, I just said this to Carly, that you're going to enjoy what I'm going to say at all. So you might enjoy it later on after November or in a year, but you probably will not enjoy what I'm going to tell you that I've done to build confidence in myself as a leader. How do I tell you to change the...
No.
You just do this. Okay, awesome. Okay. Super subtle. Okay, so the first one, leading with confidence is tough. I was very surprised when, I'm shaking like this is not me. I was very surprised when Brady and Megan asked me to do this. I know I'm a good leader, but I definitely wouldn't think that I would come up here to talk to everybody about how to do that. So I'm going to be honest again. I started my presentation, what day is it today? Started my presentation on Monday, and I finished it last night about 11 o'clock. And I've changed it so many times based on conversations I've had over the week. Very sneakily at when we were doing all the work for the event tomorrow and everything. But I've changed it a few different times so that it's more useful to you all. So what is the definition of a confident leader? What does that mean to you? Everybody just shout out whenever you want to. What does a confident leader look like to you guys?
Positive.
Positive.
Consistent.
Consistent.
Educated.
Shows up. Thank you.
Not afraid to
I was
hurt
just gonna say
feelings.
What's that?
Not afraid to hurt feelings.
Not afraid to hurt
Not
feelings.
afraid
Just
to-
what I need to hear right now.
I got you.
We're like kind of brain dead. I started to say not afraid. Not afraid to make mistakes,
Yes.
to own those mistakes, and to just mess stuff up. If you do a live and it's ridiculous or whatever,
Like forky.
well, like my excellent Halloween lives. No, but that's what it takes for people to believe in you, to drink your Kool-Aid.
Yeah, okay. So, what is the definition of a confident leader? We can... Nodding. Okay. Is it your status? Is it your PRS? Is it how many that they sponsor? Is it being confident in your own leadership? How much you do for your team? Okay? And nod. There's another bit. Come on. There you go. Short answer is no. All of these are what I decided at 11 o'clock last night to call surface indicators. People will see these, people in your teams will see these, people outside will see these, and they will think, yeah, they know what they're doing, they're an awesome leader because they do all of these things. Okay? And when in actual fact, the way to be a confident leader, in my opinion, because I have to add that in, is listening, okay? And you have to listen to different groups of people. You have to listen to yourself, mainly, okay? Now, how do we make sure, these are silly, I should have just kept my paper. How do we make sure, go back.
We're fixing it.
Giving all my secrets away. Let's talk more about specifically who to listen to or what to listen to, okay? So we don't want to have any distractions. And I've loved that we've talked about this a couple of times today already because it's one of the most important things with the next month coming up. It can be the tiniest thing that distracts you in November and your whole month is pooped. Okay, that it is, I swear a lot as well. It is gone, okay? So things to look out for. This is like a helpful hints list. If one of these things happens to you in November, make sure that you listen to yourself, that you focus on that why, and that you focus on your goal for November. Because I didn't last year in November, and I did not get to where I wanted to be by the end of the month, okay? So this is really, 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 really important, just in case you can get that. Other people's opinions of you. Now that counts for your team and that counts for people out there in the world as well. People will come to you, they'll say that they don't think, unsolicited, that they don't think what you're doing is what you should be doing. Okay? You've already made your plan, stick to it, okay? You made it in your heart, do not change it, okay? If you start moving around, you will not be on the path that you want to be on because you already made that decision to stick there. Stay there, okay? Don't let your ego win you over. Your ego will help you compare to other people. Your ego will want you to be the center of attention. You don't need to be. I help a lot of people. I don't blast it all over Facebook. I do not tell people. It's not why I do it. I help people because I want them to succeed. And when they succeed, I don't run along in the background going, yeah, I did that. I did that with you. Like, no, they did it themselves. I gave them some advice and they did it themselves. Okay? Don't let your ego get in the way of your success or anyone else's. I feel like I'm getting angry, so we're going to move on from yes, sorry.
I like it when
Don't
she
get
shouts.
competitive with other team
Shouting.
members or other people that are around you, okay? In a bad way. If you're like getting competitive and it's starting to get you down, don't block that person, but stop following them and stop watching the leaderboards. If your goal is to sponsor 10 people this month, the month is not over. Don't get depressed because somebody else has done really, really, really well sponsoring. Like we're all thinking about it. Congratulate them. The only reason that you should be thinking about Nikki and her sponsoring is to congratulate her and say how bleeping amazing she is.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, don't blame anyone else if it doesn't go well. That's your ego again. I'm still on ego. Don't blame anyone else if it doesn't go well. You don't go to them when you're successful and say it was all you. So don't do it when something doesn't go right. Okay. Gossip, easy peasy. Don't gossip. Someone doesn't say it to your face, don't listen to it. Oh, this is a good one. So I get distracted by these a lot because I really love talking to my team. And it's one-to-ones, okay? Now, I used to do a lot of one-to-ones. My team knows this. I used to do a ton. I would offer them out all the time. But we would then end up on a Zoom, maximum 40 minutes because I'm cheap. But we would end up on a Zoom talking a lot, like for a long time. And then there wouldn't always be an action out of it, or there wouldn't always be an action that would come from it that we would follow up with. So that was 40 minutes of time where they could have been messaging, or I could have been messaging, or they could have spoken live in, or they could have listened to some self-development that we then didn't have because we were super chatty. Okay, and I'm not saying don't do them ever, I'm saying scale it back. So like, Natalie, I think you said this, was it the hour training down to 10 minutes? Yeah, such a simple thing, that you're still having that valuable time with your people, but it's not taking up an hour, it's clear, it's concise, and you come out with an action at the end of it. Okay, always have those actions at the end. Brady was talking about, Brady and Sasha were talking about that on their Zoom calls that they did earlier this year. Okay, so, one-to-ones. Ignore housework, let it go. I got a cleaner yesterday. It was really worth it when Nancy reminded the story. I got a cleaner yesterday and they scrubbed down the entire house. It was fabulous. And then the bathroom that Nancy and her boys are going to be using, and Rob washed the dog in it. So you're welcome, Nancy.
I love it.
It's completely pointless doing it because it just gets ruined all over again. I did give it a quick clean last night, but yeah, you're welcome. Keep the drama to a zero. Zero drama. Don't even react to it. Leave it out, okay? This is a positive place. We're all meant to be linking together and helping each other. The moment any drama arises, stuff it out. Is that right phrase?
Yeah.
Stuff it out. Stuff it out. Stuff it out. Like a candle. Stuff. Okay. And then the last one for a distraction is your mind. Your mind will create any story that you want it to as an excuse. 100%. If you sit in November and you're not where you want to be, you're going to give yourself an excuse. Deanna talked about writing down goals. We all talked about writing things down so that we have them there for goals and our timelines. Keep that with you everywhere you go. When you have your quiet time, like my main quiet times are at jiu-jitsu, where I actually fell asleep last week, everyone. It was quite achievement. Take your notepad out and read your goals. As soon as your mind starts going somewhere that someone's doing something because of this, or you're not going to be able to do your PRS, or you're not going to sponsor this month, take out your goals and look at them and see how you were going to get there and send a message. Take action. Don't wallow in the negativity in your mind, because that's the only place you're going to get is more negative, and you're not going to reach your goals. Okay? So take that goal sheet everywhere with you. If it has to be a positive affirmation, take that with you too. Do you know what I started doing? Is, what was that lady called that was at the first Uplift You?
Candace Bell.
Candace Bell. I started telling myself in the morning that I love you, standing in the mirror. And I felt, about the last month and a half, felt so much better for doing that. Start doing that. Take all the teachings that we've had at all these amazing events and use them, especially in the next week before you get to the crazy time.
Because it's going to be really good.
Because it's going to be really great.
I don't like when she does that. Then you're just like, We're like a week still.
I just want to sleep for a month. It's fine.
Okay, now right. Now this, I've been listening all day to everyone using the word cheerleader and thinking, oh, everyone's going to hate me. They're going to absolutely hate me. But that's okay. Anyway, are you a cheerleader or are you a coach? This was from Mr. Eric Worry at convention, and he said this during one of the sessions, and I just went, oh, right, totally got you there. So, are you a cheerleader or are you a coach? If you are a cheerleader, you hear the goals and they tell you that they can do it, okay? If you're a coach, you're kind of sitting on the side, you're not waving pom-poms, you're not doing all the theatrics. If you're a coach, you hear the goal, you ask questions, and you help to find a solution, okay? You help them to do the job.
Shirley, what's BP? Sorry, I missed that part.
Business partners.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't do that part. Listen to yourself and your business partners in every interaction, okay? Wherever you can find a way to ask a question, if you don't know how they did something, ask how they did it. If you don't know why they can't get to a point, ask what they've done already so you can analyze that and help them to move forward. Those of you in any of the chats recently, like there's a lot of group chats I'm in. If somebody says they haven't been able to do something or they're struggling to get somewhere, I always ask, what have you done already? There's no point just firing at people like what you think they should do or just saying you can go there, you can get it. Let's help them to get there, okay? Just the same as when someone's negative, we help them to get the positive solution, right? We help them to find that positive end. It's exactly the same for a task. Okay, so a cheerleader keeps cheering no matter what you do. They'll still be there, doesn't matter what you do, even if you think you're maybe doing something that they wouldn't, they'll still be there cheering their little pom-poms, just like Owen. There you go. But a coach will ask questions in order to find a way to help you. Like Natalie talked about the sandwich. There she's going to say something very nice. Then she's going to say, not a criticism, but something that maybe someone needs help with and another compliment, right? The way that I do this is I use something called TED. Feel free to write this down. Is tell, explain, describe. So if somebody comes to you, you might need this later, by the way. If somebody comes to you with something that they're struggling with, you would use open-ended questions. And the best way to start an open-ended question is tell me about, describe to me, or explain to me. And you can talk about how a person's feeling, what they did, anything along those lines, okay? A cheerleader will accept what you tell them and probably move forward onto something else, okay? A coach will let you have your vent, a very short vent, guys, okay? Like the short vent that we just had, and now we're moving on to how to be amazing, confident leaders, okay? You're going to have that very short vent, and then you're again going to ask questions, and you're going to move forward on how to bring you back to your focus, okay? So you're always coming back to that focus about why you're doing things. Okay, next. Oh, I'm missing one. Is there an Eric? Listen to Eric. I'm trying to make...
This is in the end.
Yeah, is there another one after? Sorry. Well, there's also listen to, there you go. Listen to Eric. implement simple systems. Now we've already heard about this.
Nikki.
Yeah.
And Sarah.
This was our favorite thing. So when we came back from convention, 5 of us went into a group and we're all talking about it, but the only 2 that actually came through and did anything were Nikki and Sarah. And it's absolutely fantastic what they sent round. It's a fantastic fact sheet that Nikki is going to share. So, implement those simple systems. We have a sponsoring one from Sasha and Brady, the opportunity event, okay? We have different ways for sponsoring that are super, super easy to do and to follow. There's nothing difficult about messaging somebody and saying, would you like to be in this event? If not, it's fine. If yes, yay, right? And then they're in the event. We held another separate one this week and we've already sponsored 3 or 4 people from that event. There was only 16 people in the event, okay? So do little ones off your own, but find a system that works for you and then tell your team about it. Affiliates or post-desk posts, we know about those. Onboarding is the 3rd system that you have to have, and that is Nikki's sheets or the Trello that we have. There's different ways that you can do it. Some people can take a lot of information at once, some people need a smaller fact sheet. So read your person or just chat to them and see what they would like. And then the last one is your pink factory. And your pink factory is exactly what it says. It's where you build your pinks, you guys know about that. But this is where your distractions start to come in. So you build your pink factory, you've taught them how to get to pink, they know what to do, they know how to build leaders, they know you have all these systems in place, and then the major distraction comes in, which is your team. And you keep trying to do all the things for your team when they're more than capable of doing it on your own, and that's when your business stops. Your business, like your personal business, will stop growing because you're focusing all on your team. You're not sponsoring, you're not doing affiliates. All you're worrying about is whether you got all these posts done for your team page, or whether you had your one-to-ones, or whether you were in your group chat today. I have 100% scaled back on teamwork. I took Nicole's fabulous idea she talked about earlier about having the smaller chats. I have my chatty chat for lassies that everybody is in. You can say whatever the heck you want in that chat. Doesn't have to be about work. You can just come in because you feel poopy. You can come in because you want to celebrate something. You can do whatever you like in that chat. And then I have my circle chat, which is now going to have Lindsay, are you good false? No. Thank you. And then I'm going to add those little, what was the emojis and things that she talked about. That's a fantastic idea. So we're going to add that into our circle chat. That's all I have. If somebody wants a one-to-one, yes, I will do it. I'm not scheduling posts for my team page anymore. We have tons going on in Team Whiplash. The only thing that goes in there is if I have an idea of a post of the day and if we're doing an incentive. That's all that happens in the team page. Plus, wonderful Candice does our affiliates, and Sabrina does our Motivation Mondays to get everyone moving and grooving and start the week. Great. Can't believe I just did that. Now, how much time have I got?
You're good.
What?
You ran out a while ago, but that's only because you
It's 3:30. We started late.
Okay, we're good. You're good. Okay, so we talked a little bit about ego, and then I decided to put an extra note at the end. Your ego will show up in many different ways that we've already talked about. It's the most difficult thing for you to control for the whole of November. You have to keep it in check every time that you want to, like, you feel like you're entitled to success because you've done a lot of work. Every time that you want to use different language because you want it to be all about you, I want you to go and help somebody, okay? So that's your task from every time that you think that ego is coming up, go and help someone. We did a new checklist which I gave the ladies today. It's from Amanda Booth, and on it says, there's a little checkbox and it said, I helped to uplift one person today. I helped to empower one person today. I helped validate one person today. And then you have to tick off once you've done it every single day, okay? And it's so important to keep in mind what our mission is when we have such big, hefty goals, big, hairy, audacious goals for, is it hairy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hairy. I feel like I messed up. I'll just take that. There's that ego. Okay, so make sure that you're doing something good for somebody every single day. Now, have we got time to do my little task?
Yeah.
Okay, so remember I said you to write down tell, explain, describe?
Mhm.
You guys are going to move somewhere in the room. I know this is complicated. If you have a baby in your hand, please don't move. But you're going to move around. Eric did this. Eric did this with us in the session at convention. And you had to move around the room and talk to somebody else about something that was an obstacle for them and coach them on how to overcome it, which is why I told you the tell, explain, describe. I'm super happy right now. But this is going to help you for November because your teams are going to come to you with obstacles and you need to have a clear head and be able to assess the situation before you do anything else. So, think of something that you have had an obstacle with. It doesn't have to be work. If you don't want to talk about something with somebody else about work, it can be absolutely anything. And then you're going to coach somebody through how to overcome that or forget about it. Okay? Off you go. Move around. Everybody. We have to go. We have to move around.
Shirley? Shirley, can I stop? Can I stop?
She's gonna wander over. Yeah.